doing the legacy planning and all that. Right, good. Because that's why I regrouped on that. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. All right. Hello, everybody. We are here today with Linda Welk from Revolution Financial Management, and we're going to find out a whole bunch of stuff about getting ready to buy a house and your financial plans. Coming up next. And we are back. How's it going, Linda?
Great. How are you doing?
Great. You know, I was telling everybody earlier on the earlier podcast that it's just another day in real estate paradise, and it's been trying to keep the balls in the air as we're trying to get this house closed. Was supposed to have been last week and couldn't get insurance, and so it turned into this week, and was going to be early in the week, and been a couple of things that I normally kind of try to stay on top of, but the buyer's agent and the lender sleep together. So I didn't do what I normally do. I didn't follow my normal procedure, which is talk to everybody and say, hey, I'm a communicator. Hey, you know, let's get this done. Or if there's anything, let me know ahead of time, because I can always take care of anything that I know is happening, as long as I know it's happening.
Right.
And I didn't do that because I figured, oh, you know, they are together. I mean, it should be, you know, and then it'll come to me through the buyer's agent. And it's been a little bit of a struggle, but we're there. We're ready to close there. And then
you mentioned about the insurance. Is it for the homeowners insurance that I've been hearing a lot about, that a lot of companies are pulling out of California?
Yeah, they're
so you're feeling that already. It's not something that's coming. They're doing it now. You're feeling it.
Oh yeah. I mean, normally, you know, somebody picks their insurance company, and you know, it's
right.
It's they call and say okay, they get a price and they go okay, and it's just all done. This buyer had it took 5 insurance companies and couldn't get insurance
on just a regular house. And nothing that was crazy, just a regular
nothing crazy house. Not up in the foothills in a high fire zone in Stockton.
Wow.
5 insurance agencies, and they weren't doing business in California. I had a buyer call me, or a seller call me, and said, I've got this rental and I've been thinking about getting rid of it, but I just got a cancellation of insurance on it, letting me know that my insurance is going to be canceled at whatever it is, 6 months or 8 months down the road here. It's going to be canceled. Can you sell a house that you can't get insurance on? I went, well, why can't you get insurance? I'm a little confused. You'll have to catch me up to speed.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, they're not writing insurance in California. I said, well, there are people that are writing insurance in California. Your carrier is not writing insurance.
Right. Okay. At least there's options, but the main ones are pulling out, it seems like.
Yeah, main ones, little ones, everybody's.
Horses.
There's still some out there that, you know, I mean, the insurance agent that explained it all in the previous podcast was just saying that basically it's because all during COVID, so 2019 through 23, they have not authorized any rate increases, just to remain solvent, not to make money, but to remain solvent.
Right.
And so now they're starting to help them to get solvent. Okay. But they're not actually giving them the check to raise their rates, and they are needing some of them up to they're losing 140%. So they collect $1 and it costs them $1.40.
Right, not sustainable for sure.
Right. 60 to 140% was what she quoted as
Oh my gosh.
just to bring them back to solvent.
And no one can operate at all
Yeah.
under those conditions, no
Right.
matter what type of company, no matter, what the situation is, you can't operate.
And the crazy thing is she said that they're licensed in 10 states, and they actually, California is the cheapest insurance of all 10 states that they're licensed in.
Wow.
That's what I said. California is cheaper than anything.
Yeah, we would have thought they'd be top on the list, right?
Right.
Wow. Oh my gosh, what's happening?
What is happening in this world?
Yeah. Things are just going topsy-turvy, different directions we'd ever expect.
Yeah, exactly. So what's been happening in your world?
Well, it's always a beautiful day in my world. Doesn't matter what's happening. Doesn't matter if the sun's shining or it's raining. It's all about the attitude. Just a lot. I mean, days are full. We know how that goes. Our lives are really busy, and just keeping things going forward with a smile on our face is the best way to get through it. Right?
Need the sunshine in somebody's rainy day.
That's it. Yellow's my favorite color, which is sunshine. Yeah. So it's just keeping busy, working through the process of, helping people here and there with this and that.
Yeah. Well, good. Yep. So, that's pretty much where we are. I shared with you before we got started that was a nice Father's Day.
Yes.
And your mother's Father's Day was, nice. So my daughter that just got married came back on Father's Day, and son and daughter-in-law, they were down in LA for a wedding. So just me and my bride, and burnt some meat and played a little golf and drank a little whiskey. And
memories of the kids when they were home. Remember when?
Remember when
they were really here for Father's Day? Yeah, my son was. We met my son. Anytime I can see my son, because it's not. I'm mother, so I just went because it was my son for Father's Day lunch with my son. But we just met in Colfax, so he came down from. We just met there in person with his dad, and it was really great. It's just being with family is good, even if it's a phone call.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Exactly.
It's all right. It's okay.
Yeah, that's what I said when the daughter called and says, "I'm so sorry I'm not there." I said,
"It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay."
You have video phones now. You can you're right there. So
we didn't video call, but we're headed over. I think Sunday we've decided since they're moving to LA. She's got.
When are they moving, by the way? Is it soon?
Yeah, this next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I got rodeoed into helping.
Oh, you said you were free, huh?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah. I mean, basically, it's not too much of a move because his work, which is why they're moving, is actually paying for the move.
Perfect.
But they don't have a place to move into. They're actually staying at the suite at the hotel that he runs.
Yeah.
And so we're going to help move the stuff, the plants and things that can't go in the pod and be stored for the month or month and a half or whatever. So take them to find a place. Yeah. And so, it's just more of a trip to go down and see where they're at and see some other family down there while we're there. That'll
make your wife happy too. She'll get to be down there and you feel a part of it and just be more comfortable with where they are.
Yeah, exactly. Feel more like she's in control and find out that it really isn't that much of a drive.
Right. Road trips are fun. Has she forgotten how fun road trips are?
Yeah, she should. I mean, she always has me driving. She has all the fun. I drive.
I know. Passenger all the way. Okay. No responsibility. Just enjoy the scenery.
Exactly. So you have a whole bunch of good stuff to share with everybody today, and let's get started.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'll let you take the lead.
Okay. Well, today's topic is the basics about financial literacy, what we should have learned in school. And it truly is just the basics. Just off the top of my head, I have other slides I want to be presenting just on some actuals that people can just look at and see what is important. But back in school, when my son, he's just 21, this day and age, they do not teach anything pretty much in the majority of the schools. I think 2 states, it's required in high schools to have some kind of financial classes on just how to get by with a checking account and such. They don't even teach them how to work with a checking account, where to put their money. They're going to be working as teenagers even. I'm sure parents help, though. A lot of times, I'm not sure the percentage. That's an interesting thing to get a percentage on. How many parents actually educate their kids about money? A lot of parents don't know about money. They just do the status quo, what everybody does. Teaching them how to, write a check, have a checkbook, the responsibility of a check. That a check in your checkbook does not mean you have money in your account. That's an old time joke, right?
Yeah. I still have checks.
People don't know. I mean, just like a debit card, let's just try it. Is there anything in there? Let's just put they just don't know. They do not know the fees that are attached to just basic checking accounts, minimums and interest that you can earn depending on the type. I think it's just having that discussion in school. Would it be, I mean, a year's class could teach them so much, even a semester, so much in their, senior to junior to senior year between that rent about the basics, about how to avoid things that will actually cost them money, like credit cards. Mm-hmm. I know we're a credit card country. It's just the way it is. And we have a lot of benefits and perks we get with it, as long as we, don't overdo it. And we understand that we're actually paying a ton of money for interest to use their money. And if there's a way to use the card, pay it off every month, be moderate. You're not going to be losing, because the whole thing about financial literacy is learning how to save it, keep it, grow it. It's growth, it's protecting it, saving it. It's just pretty basic, but we don't know it. We don't know how to do it. And it's just simple conversations. I have a couple of slides, just 3 slides to show, and it talks about the growth, the savings, and the protection. It's actually, can I scroll to? Yeah. I know it's not shared yet. I have just the 3 I want to see. I have.
Well, here, let's take off our, see.
The first slide, once we get onto it, that I wanted to show. Some people may know this, and some people may not.
There, and then we have that. Back over here. And there.
Okay. I'm not sure. I'm sure you've heard of the rule of 72. A lot of people do not know the rule of 72 is, and it's just and we can even read it. It's nothing that's complicated at all. And it's very easy to see here. But this example here shows how you can earn over time with an investment of $10,000 at different rates of return starting at an age of 29. This is strictly an example of the different scenarios, and it's so simple to understand it. And even down at the bottom, it gives a disclaimer on where this came from. I cannot remember. I should know this. Who thought of the rule of 72? Is it Einstein?
Ben Franklin, Einstein.
Anyways, I can get back to that, but it's been proven. This is actually the rate of return you can receive when you do certain things with money, and you have different rates of return. Typically, like a 29-year-old at 1% interest rate, your money will double in 72 years. That's the rule of 72. So if you see this, a 29-year-old just deposits $10,000 just one time, and at the age of 101 is $20,000, double his money. Awesome. We can obviously see the difference at the 4%, what it would do, and the 6%, what it would do. But when you jump over to the 12% column, which is very doable nowadays, we have, that's just our country. It's
Right.
very doable. Even 8% or 10%. But the average for some good returns is 12%. 4% takes 18 years to double, 40,000 at the age of 65. 6%, 12 years to double, 80,000 at the age of 65. Not bad. I mean, for
Not
just
bad.
the original $10,000, that's not bad. And we have, of course, didn't mean to slip that. 6 years on a $10,000 deposit rate of return can look at, even at the age of 65, not even going to 71, 640,000.
Yeah.
Just understanding the basics.
One deposit.
Interest. It rolls over. It makes money on your money, on your money, on your money.
Yeah.
That's just the basics. That's one of the basics that people forget. They don't know. They just go about their day and are forgetting about maybe moving some of that, put it back into your saving, put it somewhere that is higher than nothing.
Right.
If it's in the bank, you got a lot of money and it's sitting in a savings account, get it out of there. Get it out of there. There's so many options, but just see what it does by compounding. So that was a good example that I wanted to just show the basics. So this is something that high school kids, my son is 21. I was giving this to him in his ears when he was 17 and 18.
Right.
Just to get an idea of what to do with money. The next slide I wanted to show, did you have any thoughts on that?
What's that?
You have any thoughts on this one?
That just everything you've been talking about, teaching people how to take care of normal basic life, is something that I truly agree. People ask me, have you always had this entrepreneurial spirit in you? And I'll have to say, yeah, it was put into me by my dad early. I actually, yes, I babysat. Yes, I had a lawn route. I had paper routes, but I actually owned my own business my junior year in high school.
That's fantastic.
I bought
that in you.
Yeah, I bought a fruit stand. Yeah,
that's amazing. And that's unfortunate for those who don't know and then don't have exposure to that, which is not anybody's fault. It's just let's have our ears open and be open to things that can better someone. That's just that simple. We want to be able to do that to enhance their lives, not take away.
Right.
Definitely. So the next slide I want to show. So that's, how compounding and how you can grow your money. There's all sorts of ways to do this, but this is just the basics on how you can grow it.
Sure.
Next one will be the next slide. It talks about, again, another way, how it grows, how the saving the money, but how it grows in the different types of situations that are available to us. And within each of these buckets, there's several different things, like the fixed column right here. I'm looking over here, but I don't get here.
Yeah.
The fixed column is our typical savings accounts, things that we want to be able to grab money out when we need it. There's nothing really earned there. You see, it's a straight line, line, but it's secure as long as it's not over 250,000 and the, Feds don't say, oh, you're not insured anymore for that. And you take a loss if it happens to that bank. Right. And they go under. Usually they won't now. They'll be bailed out. You won't lose money, but this is safe, considerably safe. The next way you can grow your money is what they call variable accounts. And that's the stock market and things like that, that you have risk. You don't have any guarantees. But when things are up, you can really make a ton of money. But when things drop, you can lose a ton of money. And unfortunately, the loss is what we have to experience. So you have to just be careful. This section right here, the variable, is really important in a healthy portfolio. Depending on someone's age, I think they get a lot more conservative as we get older. We don't want to take the risks, but in some situations when things are proven and there's longevity and solid growth, it's okay to do that because you want to experience that growth. But it's not guaranteed. So they experience the falls, the loss, and without any protection. 401ks are in here, for example, because they're, they're on the stock market. They
Right.
on that and all that. So that's how people have a big dumps in their 401k, which is unfortunate. But there's other things that are in here too, annuities and certain types of annuities and things like that in there. Great place to have money when you're working with a portfolio. Then the third way is indexed. This is like a long-term type of a product. This is short-term. This is here accessible. Could be short and long-term, just depending what you're doing in the middle here. And the index is usually used for long-term savings, long-term goal planning, retirement planning and things like that. They have floors, so you don't lose any money. They have the ladder effect that when the interest, and this actually indexed accounts mirror the stock market. They're not in it. They merely mirror it. And because it has the safety nets, there's no loss. The floor, I think right now on some of them are like 0.75. Could be higher floor, just depends on what you're looking at. And the ceilings can be up to 15%. Within that range, the way index and how index works and how the companies that are offering these work is because they do take, they have, if it goes to 25%, your ceiling is 15, they experience a 10%. It's all good. And yeah, so but there's no losses. So it just shows the 3 different areas that people can have their money and how it can grow. Slow. This will be here. It could grow, snail grow. Here, it could grow or it could lose. I mean, it's just one of those things. And this one grows without any loss. That's on this area is another way money grows. Any thoughts on this one?
I mean, it makes a lot of sense where you've got that ceiling and the company that's holding your money is investing it variably.
Right.
And variable is definitely the way, as you said, where you can make a lot of money, but you can also lose a lot of money. But they've got somebody that's got their finger on it all the time. And if it starts dropping, they're going to change it to something that's making money.
Right. That's their goal. And nobody really finds people that can actually do it all the time. Right. Without, because it's a guess.
Yeah. It's always a guess.
It's always a guess. And they have incredible money managers that work with the variables, obviously. And there's a way to know who all the top are, that work with the money and that are the best in the industry right now. And the same with the index. It's the same thing. You don't want to just be down here, petering up a little bit. You want to be up, experiencing the highest rates you can without the loss. Right. Yeah. So it's really cool. There's a lot of options for people. They just have to know that they're out there. They're out there. And it depends on how you want to work with your money. You may spread it across all 3. Some won't. It just depends. But they're there. People just need to know they're there.
Yeah. Need to know and need to understand how they work together. Yeah. Exactly.
Right. And then the last slide is how money gets taxed. And that's what we all experience. That's one thing I don't think people can really identify how many things we get taxed on and how much tax we really pay on everything if we count it all up. But this is one of the most consistent things that will never go away. And the goal with this is just to show people the differences on how our money is taxed and at what intervals. So tax now, it says it right here. It's right here. It clears about bank accounts, CDs, stocks, mutual funds. This is money that earns interest and we get dividends. We get paid right away, so it's income. We're going to be taxed on that in that year. So on our taxes, we're going to experience that. Whatever growth we had, we're going to be taxed on it right now.
Yep.
And we're paying, we just taxed on all of it. And but we have to have this. I mean, these are the types of accounts that we need to have. But it's just good to know how that we deal with the taxes on it. Taxed later, like our 401ks, some annuities, pension plans and such, they're taxed later. So we are able to put money in and expecting an unknown tax rate by the time we retire and get to pull it out. We assume that from now until whatever date that is, our taxes are probably not going to be lower. They're going to be higher. So on this level right here, they're great. It is a great place to have certain things, as long as you don't overfund and do things wasting your money. They're necessary for sure, depending on your strategies. But if you're looking for something like this for a long haul and you want it for your retirement, it's probably not, if not the best to have as a guarantee of what's going to happen later when you actually get to draw it, and what are the tax rates going to be. So that's another, it's just something to consider when you're moving your money to different places on what's going to happen,
Right.
you know. And the last one over here is tax advantage, which is the Roth IRAs, executive bonus plans, and as I said, cash accumulation and insurance plans. These are the money that goes into these has already been taxed. So the money that grows will never be taxed because it stays within this bubble. You can take money in, take money out. It's just the other level of long-term type savings and how it's protected from taxes later. You're never taxed on it. It's already been taxed. The money that comes into this is already taxed. The money that grows in it will never be taxed because it stays within it. If you want to draw money out again, it comes from a different little bucket within whatever you're using. So it's 3 on all levels of, the growth. They all seem to have 3 different buckets, and they all have a purpose.
Right.
Just depending on what you're looking to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So that's just a little highlight about that. And I know this for high school kids, that would make sense. And I wish that there would be something that could be done on the education level to just get something in that covers this kind of stuff.
Right.
They need to know that when they're going to their job, get a chunk, get it saved, put it away, forget about it, and let it grow. If they want to have a retirement and have a life to live when they're retired, it's not going to happen if they don't do something about it.
Right.
Yeah. So that's my goal for today, is just to reach people that want to reach people, to help them remind them to save, remind them to look at their money seriously. And
in a different light.
Right.
Look at it in a different light.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the tax now is not only tax now, it's tax continually. Yes. We always look at what's coming out of our check when we're a W-2 employee. We see the federal government, we see the state government, we see all that coming out.
Right.
But that isn't all we're taxed on. That's the crazy thing.
That's just the payroll. That's just our wages.
That's just the payroll. And as soon as we get that money, now we're going to go buy some groceries. We get taxed again. We go buy gas. We get taxed 19 times when we buy gas.
Exactly. And they're not even looking at what they're actually paying in fees for it. Like a basic checking account. You have to have a certain amount of money to not have a fee assessed every month.
Right.
You have a savings account, a regular savings account. Just the fees alone you're making, 0.75% interest rate, but you're really not, because you're losing based on the fees you're charged. So you're actually losing money having a savings account.
Yeah.
But the idea is to get it in something that's saving, that's not losing.
Right.
Yeah, that's sad. And I think another little piece of information that people don't know is when this could be kind of far-fetched depending on where you live, but when you're shopping for something, and if you're shopping for something big, buy it in a city that has a lower sales tax. Okay. Lodi is a lower sales tax than Stockton.
Yep. A lot of people don't know that, but it is.
Shop in Lodi when you want to, save a little bit on your sales tax.
Yep.
When you buy a car, the tax. When you do anything, you're taxed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then to drive it, you got road tax.
You got road tax. Our wonderful California roads.
Yeah, they're so fine. They're so fine.
They're so smooth. Ooh, like a roller coaster just through the streets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So are you done with your screen share there?
I am. Yes, you can take that off.
We'll pull that off.
Yeah.
So we're back big again.
Yeah.
We're not little guys over on the side. Well, that was some great information, Linda. You always are very pleasant and bring lots of great things for people to look at and consider. So thank you again for your time.
My pleasure.
Looking forward to our next interview here, as well as for the one for Rising from the Ashes. So that is coming up here real soon. That's a podcast that I'm going to be doing for people that are home sellers and buyers that are getting divorced. And so Linda's going to bring us some great information there too. Everybody, her information has been running down below. If you have any questions about what she had today or want to delve deeper into financial literacy, she is the one to talk to. Thank you again so much, Linda. Everybody go out and be the sunshine in somebody's rainy day. And never forget to see Ray to find your perfect home. And of course, like, share, and ring the bell, subscribe, get on, because there's going to be a lot more great stuff coming up next. Thank you so much, Linda. We'll see you later.
Thank you.